As the year and the decade comes to an end, the country is burning. It's been labelled the worst fire season ever recorded, an apocalypse, a nightmare, and like looking into the gates of hell. From the New South Wales-Victoria border all the way to the Central Coast, 9 blazes reached emergency warning level today. Here's what we know right now. 2 men believed to be a father and son were killed trying to defend their home in the south coast town of Cobargo overnight. A 72-year-old man is still unaccounted for in the nearby town of Ballowra. The RFS says dozens of homes have been destroyed. And late today, police warned all telecommunications, including mobile services and the internet, will be lost tonight on the south coast between Nowra and Moruya. Tonight, we have reporters standing by across the region with the latest information. First to Jade McMillan near Cobargo, where those 2 men died. Jade, what do we know about the tragedy?
Well, sadly, we know that a 63-year-old man and his 29-year-old son were killed while trying to defend their property near Cobargo. A woman, the wife of one of those men and mother of the other man, returned home this morning and found their bodies. We also know that a 3rd person is still missing at Ballowra. Now, the Princes Highway here north of Bega, the road that would normally go through to Cobargo, is still closed. But locals there have told us that the fire that swept through their small community was terrifying. There is believed to be significant damages to buildings. Photos from the main street show rubble where businesses should be standing, and residents say that embers started spot fires right throughout that area and the fire moved incredibly quickly.
Selby Stewart, let's go to you now. You're at Sussex Inlet. You were there as the Currowan fire raged. What's the latest there on the ground?
Karina, this fire is still very much out of control, and it's now so large it reaches from the northern parts of Ulladulla all the way up to the southern parts of Nowra, and today it burnt with such ferocity. We were at a roadblock down on the Princess Highway when a spot fire from the Currowan blaze exploded next to us. We had to flee alongside police and residents in that area down to Sussex Inlet, where the one road in and out has now been closed. And it's been a very trying time for all RFS crews and residents here. Luckily, the spot fire was pushed away by the southerly, but it brought the Currowan fire front, which had those pyrocumulus clouds, and when it hit, it was terrifying. It was completely dark. There were embers flying overhead, and the wind was so strong, and the fire was so ferocious, you could hear trees exploding in the forest. So it's been an incredibly difficult day, very treacherous and unpredictable conditions right up and down the coast. Also down in Bateman's Bay, where we know that homes have been lost there. Reporter Leave Casbin has more.
After weeks of threatening coastal towns, the South Coast bushfires suddenly roared into full force, triggering warnings to residents from Cooma to Bega and north to Bateman's Bay and beyond.
Seek shelter as fire approaches.
As the blaze struck with ferocity, emergency crews were stretched thin, struggling in chaotic conditions.
Go! Go!
Strong, changeable winds fanning the destruction. In Bateman's Bay, holidaymakers retreated to the water as visibility plummeted. Shops and cafes shuttered up.
It's horrific. It's like a war zone. Catastrophic. No words to describe it. Homes lost up the back of us.
Scared, nervous. Kind of want to go home but can't go home yet, so yeah, just planning on where to go from here.
As firefighters battle these horrendous conditions, you can hear gas bottles exploding just a few kilometres from here, and people have come here to the water where they feel safer.
Spot fires arrived under raging winds, with many residents choosing to stay and protect.
It looks like it's jumped the highway up west of us, and it's just roared down like a bloody freight train.
If it gets too close, we're leaving. We're staying in the house. Or if it doesn't, we're going to sit outside trying to help the fireys.
At Lake Conjola, locals watched as dozens of homes and businesses burnt down. At Mogo Zoo, a superhuman effort to move animals and protect structures was underway.
We got out and we watered everything we possibly could. any species of animal that was small enough or in an area that we couldn't protect, we caught up.
Staff grateful that rare creatures were saved. A moment of defiance against a fire that seemed unstoppable. Liv Casman, ABC News, Batemans Bay.
Now to Hamish McDonald, who spent the day at the evacuation centre in Bega. Hamish, thousands of visitors have had to flee holiday homes along the coast. What's the mood like there?
Karina, I should let you know that just as we go to air tonight in the eastern states, we're feeling a few drops of rain falling here at the Bega Showground. Not a lot, not enough probably to get excited about, but significant nonetheless. Today has been absolutely extraordinary. I've covered plenty of bushfires in my reporting career. I have never experienced anything like this. You need to be here to understand what it is like being in communities that are entirely cut off. To the south there were bushfires, to the west there were bushfires, to the north there were bushfires, and in every direction roads were cut off. And that's what saw so many hundreds, indeed thousands of people take refuge wherever they could. With fire coming at them from the north, the south and west, there was only one direction for residents and holidaymakers to head. Along the south coast, hundreds fled to the water any way they could.
It's unprecedented things we're seeing at the moment, particularly with all our surf clubs on the far south coast, where we have, approximately 6,000 to 7,000 people sheltering at Bermagui alone. Over 4,500 people there.
Overnight, a time-lapse video captured the moment hell enveloped the town of Brogo.
It was just like looking into the gates of hell. It was just incredible. It was so intense, and there were more than one section I saw. And that's when I realised that we'd done the right thing to go. Yeah.
Caroline Long and her dogs got out of their home in nearby Verona at 1 a.m.
It's a weatherboard house on top of a ridge next to a mountain. Yeah, I don't think there's anything left.
Daniel Marshall spent today fighting to save a mate's house, just a day after his family lost their own home.
It's the most intense thing that I've ever experienced. House was saved, shed gone, everyone's alive.
Paul Carroll lost all but his car.
This is it. This is my 5 kids, my missus and me. It's all we own.
I lost our whole house, but I didn't get my nana's rings out, my wedding rings. So I'm really sad about that.
Can you actually cope with this, with the scale of it?
I don't know.
The Bega Showground is one of many evacuation points for families now locked in by road closures. Anna Van Goorda and Rachel Lamont left their home in Tanger, but couldn't convince their father and cousin to leave.
I just said I can't say goodbye. I can't say goodbye. It's not the end. I don't want to say goodbye.
They've been arriving here all afternoon in their hundreds, maybe even thousands, with their families, their trailers, their caravans, some even with their boats. If they are celebrating tonight here at the Bega Showgrounds, and it's felt like night all day, it'll simply be that they made it out safely. Hamish McDonald, ABC News, Bega.